Free trading education, forever free. If I'm ever charging you, it's because my trading's not working out and I'm desperate for money. So don't let it happen. Won't happen. Point is that in trading is a really weird industry where the norms of what's normal in other industries isn't for trading. And one of those things is what I found most of the best education is either free or just in cheap books, because the people who are making the most money don't have an incentive to share and don't need to share. They don't need a second income stream because they're making so much. They're so successful. So hence I'm teaching to teach and also for me to learn, but it's just this one of the best ways to get better at something is teaching. So what's super unique about trading, and I think you're going to get a lot out of the concepts in this video. Quick dogs, sup dogs. Hey doggies, show your face doggies. Yeah, we got some good dogs, huh? All right, so check this out. Trading is a really, really unique business model where it's different from other business models where in most jobs or most careers, first you're paid for the sum of your work. Or you're also paid for the sum of your decisions. So like if you work 8 hours, you're paid for the sum of those 8 hours. If your hourly is $20, you're paid for the sum of 8 times 20. The product of that is 100. You're paid that, right? And even when you go into more creative work or entrepreneurial work, depending on the business you're running, you're still to a degree paid for the sum of your work, but a lot of the times you're paid for the sum of your ideas, where you have an idea for this marketing campaign and you have the idea for this funnel, and then you have an idea for a product. Well, actually now maybe it's not sum, but it's multiplicative, but you're still paid for doing more, essentially. Trading, I would argue that you're paid for doing less. And I would argue that in trading, and I think it's quite logical why you're paid for doing less. And I mean, the example that I love to give is 1 year ago today, if I was still in that position along 50 Bitcoin, I'd be up $1 million. I would have been paid for doing nothing all year. Now, doing nothing isn't easy though, right? Like, I make $1 million from doing nothing. So here's one of the ideas that's fucked up about trading is like, okay, if you do very little, it must be easy then. No, it's not easy to do nothing. It's not easy to sit in a position when it's moving hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? It's not easy to do nothing. It's not easy to work a little, right? These things that I'm telling you, you're not supposed to work much trading, but that's not necessarily easy to do, right? Because you want to. And also because there's disconnect from these beliefs that we have. So check this out. In trading, you are not paid for the sum of your ideas or the sum of your work. You're paid for your highest quality decision. Sorry, you're paid for the average quality of your decision. You're paid for the average quality of your work. I'll say it again. You're paid for the average quality of your decision. You're paid for the average quality of your work. What does that mean? Well, the higher your quality, the more you're going to get paid. The lower the quality, the more money you're going to lose. So you're going to be paid if the average quality of your work is a 10, but the sum of your work is a 1, it doesn't matter. Like, it could be the average quality of your work is 10 and the sum of your work is 100, whether the sum is 1 or 100, whether it took you 5 minutes, whether it took you 10 hours, it's the same, right? It's not about how much work you put in. It is about having a high quality decision. So, I mean, and that I believe is obvious. Like, so how do you get the quality of your decision higher? The average quality of your decision higher? What would be by doing less and limiting it to the short window when you're at your absolute best, your physiological best, your circadian rhythm best, and also when your edge is most likely to be present. In my case, is the daily close, because I'm trading the daily chart. Or it's easier to perform when the daily is mostly formed or recently ended. On the other hand, if you're working, the more hours you add on, the more your average quality of decision is going to go down, because you cannot by definition, you cannot be at your peak for 8 hours a day. You might be able to do it for 2 hours. I would argue no more than 2 hours is your peak, right? The peak where you're your sharpest and your smartest. No more than 2 hours. But even then, like, the more you look at it, the more the quality of your decision is going to come down, because there's going to be stress, there's going to be boredom, there's going to be fear, there's going to be fight or flight reaction, you're going to get hungry, you're going to get sleepy. The average quality of your decision goes down. So you want to reduce the quantity of your decisions to increase the quality, and reduce the quantity to that window when you're at your best. So here's what we have. Here's my chart for today. This is illustrating leverage, true leverage in the physics sense. Okay, so our prop here is, we have prop trading, and that could be leverage trading, whatever it is. But the idea is, you push down on peak performance decision making, you push up on profit, right? The combination of peak performance decision making and prop trading makes you profit to an extreme in trading that does not exist for any other thing. Like, again, if you have a regular job and there's 1 hour where you're incredibly sharp, you're not paid more for that hour. And then if you have 1 hour, it's after lunch, you're tired, you don't get much done, you're not paid less for that hour either. You're paid for the sum at the end of it, right? You're paid for your hours. Even in most businesses, like, you're not paid for, it's not so lopsided, right? You're not paid just for this decision, this tiny little decision, this quick decision that you make in a day, where it's like, well, think about it. You're trading, say you're trading $1 million accounts, $10 million accounts, $100 million accounts. A lot can go wrong. You don't need to do much for it to go wrong. You don't need to do much for it to go right. If you're trading $10 million, you make 10% on a year, you have $1 million a year, right? How many decisions do you need to make in a year to make $1 million, or to make 10%? Not very many decisions necessarily, right? But I mean, that is just one example. So what I'm saying here, and I'm sure you're getting it by now, is it's not about trading more. And I'm not saying to work less necessarily. I'm saying to make your decision-making window and the time that you look at your charts as narrow as possible. So for me, what I'm trying to do is get into this 30-minute decision window, look at the charts where I am totally prepared, and end the session as soon as my first take is done and I have the orders in, before I can second guess myself. So be like a professional athlete. Get 8 hours of sleep. Get sunlight first thing in the morning. Do prayer, do meditation, do breathing exercises, journal, do visualization. I have note cards, flashcards of my setup to look at my setup, flashcard of naked charts, historical price action for all the major assets that I trade to review going back for years. And I exercise, swim, get in the ocean, lift weights, listen to music, visualize things that get me into my best state, and then come in and do the work for 30 minutes, for an hour, for 5 minutes, however long it takes, as little as possible, right? So the idea is getting into this highest possible state, and that's when you make your decision. And it doesn't matter that it doesn't take any time at all, right? You may feel like it should take a long time. You might feel like it's not real work if it doesn't. But also realize that all that work that you're doing to getting yourself physiologically and psychologically prepared is work. And then the other side of that is ending the day as soon as those orders are in, as soon as you made your first, when you're doing this, your first take is your best take. Every take after that is worse. End the day, log off, lock up your computer, and go out and do things that make you feel good and are low stress and are fun, and however you want to live your life, but things that also are going to set you up for peak performance decision making. But to me, it's really exciting. There's nothing so lopsided in the world as trading, as what rewards you for being smart for 5 minutes a day. And I love that, because I'm so much about peak performance. I'm so much about health. I'm so much about athletics, wanting to live like a professional athlete, wanting to be a renunciate, give up alcohol, weed, tobacco, all these things, processed junk foods, that To me, it's so exciting and awesome that I get to do this. Like, this is a dream job, right? Where I get to spend all morning and all evening getting myself ready to get in this highest state where I'm as smart as I'll ever be, and feel as good as I'll ever feel, and be as sharp as I'll be, and be as rested as I'll be, and as energized as I'll ever be, and make a great decision. And then that's the end of my work, right? And it's like, again, yeah, when you're trading in this way, you're only trading for, say, at most an hour a day, and it doesn't feel like, might not feel like a real job, whatever, but it I mean, it is, and it's better. It works out better this way. So that's it for today. Quick idea. I think it's pretty simple. I hope you get it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Appreciate you. Much love. And yeah, do your thing. Don't overtrade. Take care of yourself. You're not paid for some of decisions, so don't stay up late stressing. Get to sleep early. Make one quality decision a day. That's all you need to do. One quality decision in a 30-minute window, and you're done. So much love and happy trading. Peace.